right. But if you change the future, won't that change the world we're in? Surprisingly, Kaguri had gotten the gist of what Suzuha had just told her. That's right. I refuse to let that world exist any longer, so I've come here to reach Steins Gate. Suddenly, the uneasy look on Kaguri's face vanished. It was as if her soul had left its body. Suddenly her face was expressionless and her eyes were wide. Voice. Hear God's voice. Kaguri? You can't do that, it's not right. You can't do that, big sis Suzuha, you can't. Huh? Kaguri was acting strangely. Suspiciously, Suzuha reached her hand out towards her, but slipped past Suzuha's hand. And quicker than any child should be able to move, she slammed her shoulder straight into Suzuha's body. Suzuha was caught completely off guard. That's how fast it was. Kaguri's shoulder hit her in the solar plexus. He bent over and collapsed into the seat. Kaguri tore the terminal out of Suzuha's hands. The cables connecting it to the IBN 5100 were ripped out, and errors displayed on both screens. What are you doing? Kaguri didn't answer the question. Instead, she grabbed the backpack that Suzuha had placed on the seat, piled its contents on the floor. There were MREs, spare parts, clothes, semi-automatic pistol. Suzuha couldn't believe it. Kaguri was going to try and pick it up. Oh no, she's trying to get the gun. Stop it! Forced herself to ignore the pain as she jumped on Kaguri's body. But another unbelievably powerful body slam knocked her back. Oh! Something cold was pushing right up against her brow. Don't move. Kaguri's tiny hands weren't shaking at all as they clutched the semi-automatic pistol. In the space of an instant, the safety on the gun had been flipped off. Damn! That's when Suzuha realized that this wasn't just a temper tantrum. Suzuha was the one who taught her how to use a gun. That's why she knew that Kaguri was perfectly calm. Are you insane? Put the gun down, now! Stop doing this! You're the one who needs to stop. What? You can't change the world. You're not making sense. There was no hesitation in her eyes. Instead, Suzuha saw only resolve. You want the war to happen then? I don't know anything about that. I just want to go back to my old world. That's never going to happen. We're to use the time machine to interfere with the past. The world lines change. There's almost no chance we can go back. Shut up! Shut up! I'm gonna save Mommy! Can't erase this world. I won't let you! Kaguri turned the gun towards the IBN 5100. Stop! Oh, this kid. She's screwing everything up. Before Suzuha could stop her, she yanked down on the trigger. Again and again. Stop it, Kaguri! Please, stop! Then Kaguri jumped out of the time machine. Suzuha never saw her again. That was back in 1998. 10 years ago. Story time. Every night that passed, she remembered Kaguri. Suzuha had spent some time looking for Kaguri when she'd first come to this era, but in the end, she'd never found anything. Shina Kaguri, who was now 22 years old, was here in Akihabara. Suzuha was sure of it. It did no good to keep thinking about it, so Suzuha decided to stop thinking and look around the room. Taru, her dad, was playing yet another game populated entirely with female characters. His jaw was slack, he was scratching the belly fat that stuck out from under his shirt as he played. There wasn't much to respect in him right now, either as a father or as a person. Think of it. How are things with Mom? Huh? Is everything okay? I'm still going to be born, right? Oh, well, is that more important than the time machine? Hey! Suzuha stormed over to Itaru. Can't screw this up, Dad. Yeah, Daddy's gonna do his best, okay? All you ever do is talk. You even wasted those movie tickets we gave you, didn't you? I meant the pair of movie tickets that Mayuri and Ferris had conspired to give them at the Christmas party. That was because Ogering and Miss Fubuki collapsed, you know. We're so busy with hospital visits and stuff that the movie left the theater. It's not like it's my fault. But I heard that when they tried to give you new tickets, you turned them down. Who told you that? Big Sis Mayu, Big Sis Rumi, obviously. That's because, you know, it's not very manly to make those two do all the work, is it? But did you go and do something yourself? This isn't going to work. Maybe this was a more important problem than the time machine. Suzuha brought her hands up to her head. Listen, Dad, I'm not going to be around to lecture you like this forever, okay? I'm leaving soon. Oh! Suddenly there was a sad look in Ataru's eyes. Don't make that face. Promise I stop worrying about it. For the past 6 months, Suzuha had been thinking about whether it was really right to erase this world. But in the end, it was none other than Itaru who pushed her to go ahead. I'm sorry. She couldn't bear to see her father so depressed, so she patted his broad back. Just sit there and be glum. Send Mom a message. See if she's free sometime. And if she is, invite her to a movie. Ugh, that's way too sudden. I don't care if it's sudden or not. Do it anyway, okay? This is an order. In order? What's your answer? Sir, yes, sir. Satisfied, she headed off to take a shower. Oh, before that, going to hit the convenience store. Ah, don't glare at me like that. I'll eat as healthy as I can, so please forgive me. Vanilla. Huh? I want ice cream when I'm done with my shower. Vanilla ice cream. Okay, I'll go buy you a lot of really top shelf stuff. Doesn't have to be a lot, just one thing is fine. Sir, yes, sir. That was enough to cheer Daru up. He took his wallet and ran out of the lab. He's such a handful. She's just about taking off her jacket so she could take that shower, but... Suzuha! Daru had come back into the lab. Oh, this is a lab, huh? Oh yeah, it's a little apartment room that they turned into a lab. Again, all stuff from the first Steins Gate. I'll link you to my full read-through later, so if you're interested, you can catch up. Super, super good. I highly, highly recommend it. You can even just mute me and read it yourself. Although muting me would also mute the music, and the music is so good, but I mean, you get the idea. What is it? I found this on the stairs. Haru showed her a keychain he was holding, with a round anime character whose color had faded to a smoky green. It was... Upa. Know whose this is? Ah. Thank you, T-Gen. Hydration. Ah, I appreciate it. Let's now redeem this. Thank you. Let me redeem a much needed hydration. Thanks again, T-Gen. I appreciate it. Big Sis Mayu's probably leaned forward to take a closer look, and then felt like she was experiencing deja vu. I've seen this Upa somewhere before. Seen it before? She couldn't really remember when. Internal alarms are going off. This keychain was extremely important. Upas were common enough that you could find them anywhere. The plastic edges had worn down. The paint was faded and coming off in places. There was no dust. There were no stains. Instead, it shone brightly, as if its owner had put a lot of effort into taking good care of it. The chain was so old that part of it had snapped off. That was probably how it got dropped. Or was it? I've seen this before. Why didn't she show it to you? I don't know. She stared at the green Upa in Itaro's hands, and then in her mind she heard a young girl scream. This is Mommy's Upa keychain. I'm giving it to you. Take good care of it, okay? She gasped. A feeling of indescribable terror raced down her spine. This can't be. Kaguri's? That was when she'd last seen it. August 13th, 2036. The day she'd gone into the time machine. That's when she had seen this Upa. Older and more worn now. The more she remembered that day, the more certain she became. This was the Upa that Mayuri had given to Kaguri. Which is the same one I gave her today for helping her go pick up supplies for the sign. She'd seen Kaguri holding it, crying to herself many times before. Kaguri? You mean future Mayu's daughter? Yeah. Find her? No, but she knows where I am. What do you mean? Watching this lab. Satisfied, she headed off to take a shower. Since then, her careful efforts to defend the time machine had paid off. She hadn't seen any sign of Kaguri, but she'd never thought she'd be watching the lab. Ooh. Things are getting good again. No, it would have been obvious if I'd given it any thought. Trying to stop us from reaching Steins Gate. Doesn't want this world to end. Which means she's watching not just me, but you too? Huh? Me? Oh, I don't think your life is in danger, probably. You believe what we know about how world lines work. Live to at least 2036. She might come to interfere with your research, so we can't reach Steins Gate. A lot of bad things have been happening around Suzuha, Itaru, and Ogabe Rentaro. There was some possibility that the final target was Itaru. From now on, just to be safe, lock the door whenever I'm not around. Oh, okay, got it. And if Uncle Okaring, Mom, or Big Sis Mayu are here, don't leave it open. Might not help much, but make sure you use the door chain too. No, Okarin and Mayushi are one thing, but if I did that when I was alone with Amaneshi, don't you think they'd give her the wrong idea? It's true. If it makes her not like me, my whole family could be in trouble. Zach groaned softly, unsure sure of what to do. If I'd only gotten to be her boyfriend sooner, there wouldn't be a problem. Wait, we're back to that? Just be careful, okay? Suzuha decided to keep the green Upa keychain. She softly ran her fingertips over it as she stared at it. Hey, Suzuha. Kaguri-tan's not related to Mayushi, but she's still her daughter, right? That's right. Somebody raised by Mayushi grow up to be the kind of person who assaults someone? Just can't imagine it. From what you've told me, I'd expect her to be a kind of easygoing, cute little girl. Wish that was what had happened. Yeah, I thought that's how she turned out too. Now she's probably... What she'd seen at the radio building, she could tell Kaguri had definitely received professional combat training. Than just the simple self-defense techniques that she'd learned from Suzuha when she was a child. As she'd grown up, she'd been taught the cold techniques of a killer. There's no way to know where she'd been or what she'd been doing ever since she'd gone missing in 1998. There was no doubt in Suzuha's mind that she was trying to ruin her plans. Damn. Oh, shower time. Suzuha sighed as she took her shower. If it was summer, she'd set the water temperature low. It was barely any hotter than tap water. As long as the water was pouring down on her, she could feel like all the bad memories were being washed away. Slapped her cheeks with both hands and turned off the water. The small tiled room suddenly became quiet. And the silence, She vigorously toweled off her hair. This building was never intended for anyone to live in. Not only was there very little room, there wasn't even a place to change. It was small, there were no windows, and the steam from the shower room built up, making it an unpleasant sauna in the summer. Supposedly Taro and Okabe would sit naked next to the fans to get away from the heat and moisture. Of course, that was only when the girls, as well as Zuka Ushirabara, weren't around. Good afternoon, Yan boy! Hey, welcome to the stream. I must apologize because I collapsed when I said hello to you last night. And I was like, okay. And then I fell asleep. Oh my god. But I was up and I was on time for my stream, so Sleep Pact continues. But Suzuha couldn't do it. There were those huge scars on her chest. If she was careless and Yuki saw them, she'd have a big problem. That's okay. That's a good thing. That means our sleep pact stays alive. Indeed. Never dealt the sleep pact, never dealt the sleep pact. She always forced herself to change within this small space. I slept at 5:30, woke up 5 hours later. Oh my god. Well, technically it was Saturday. I think I said that's when it's okay to do that. So the sleep pact continues. It remains uninterrupted. I don't know if I'll do that tonight, but maybe I'll go between the hours of 1 to 3. I can't promise 5:30 again. Especially since tomorrow's movie night. I would like to be up for that. There's been crazy stuff going on in this game. Oh, so much. So many things. Ega always talks about the plot twist and how good the story. Oh, I know. I can't stop. Oh crap, movie night. Right? I know. Why did I have to give myself a deadline to beat this game? Why? The second she left the shower room, she realized something was wrong. The lights were off in part behind the curtain where the lab room was. She was sure she had left all the lab lights on when she'd gone to take a shower. I feel busy this weekend. Fun stuff. Alright, well that's good. As long as you're busy with fun things, then it's no problem. There's the big bad jerk, crazy killer child, pervert robot waifu. And that's just a few of the things, not to mention time travel. So much is going on. Didn't remember turning them off. Still completely naked, she flung open the curtain. She dropped to the floor, ready to move. She could tell by the light from the shower room that there was no one else there. She didn't hear any breathing and didn't feel any other presence. Dad come back? My stink day was last night. So I have to go shower and eat lunch now. Okay, perfect. I know, technically I'm still on my stink day too. So I also will be taking a shower and eating lunch. Technically breakfast as well, after my stream. But be clean. There's dirty girls, and then there's dirty girls. And then there's clean girls. Bye, Ego, Degen. Alright, Yen boy, take care. I want to be a dirty girl. Alright, just as long as it's dirty girl type A, not type B. We had a conversation about this. Oh my god, where was I? But yes, hopefully I'll catch you later tonight. We may just finish this once and for all. But take care, young boy. Enjoy your lunch. Have fun with your busy plans. Then when he'd left, he turned off the lights. No, that couldn't be right. She looked around the room and saw that things had been moved in a way that an amateur wouldn't be able to notice. Tara's computer desk, the sofa area, the bookshelves, even the mini kitchen. Someone had gone through them all. From the look of it, the same was probably true of the development room. Suha glanced all over the areas where she kept her guns. The closet was the sofa. The closest was the sofa that she had used as a bed. Wanted to have one easily available. She was attacked while she slept. She had cut out the back of one of the sofa cushions and hidden a suppressed semi-automatic pistol in it. It was just a .32 caliber for self-defense, so it wouldn't be much damage unless you had good aim, but it was small and relatively quiet, which made it the best choice for a place like this. Suzuha tensed all of her muscles, coiling like a spring and slowly moving towards the sofa without making a sound. As she did, she tried to notice any changes in the surrounding area. There was a small sound in the development room. The tiny, tiny creaking of the floor, to which you'd usually pay no mind. That was more than enough for Suzuha. In an instant, she moved from quiet to action. She cleared the distance to the sofa in an instant and quickly drew her gun. She held it ready and slipped into the shadow of a refrigerator. From this position, she could barely see into the development room.
You know, I realize she's still naked when she's doing this. Just reminding everyone.
Someone is there. The room became silent again. This time the intruder in the other room didn't try to hide their presence. Ooh, right? Try anything and I'll shoot. Hands on your head. Come out slowly. Suzuha threatened the intruder in a low voice. The intruder seemed completely unconcerned as they exposed themselves to Suzuha's gaze. You must be pretty hot wearing that in this weather. Why not at least take off your helmet? The intruder was wearing a motorcycle suit, just like before. Even the helmet was the same. The leather suit clung tight to their skin, revealing a voluptuous, perfectly proportioned body. It was clearly a woman. You're looking for isn't there. It's in my pocket. Oh, never mind. I guess she has her clothes on. Suzuha pointed toward the entrance to the shower room. Oh, never mind. She is naked. You be hot. I mean, you're not wrong. Evil, but hot. The shirt she'd taken off was lying there on the floor. The girl in the motorcycle suit turned her head, but because the face mask was down, Suzuha couldn't read her expression. Did no better than to drop it. It's something Mommy gave you. Right, Kagari? The second she spoke, Shina Kagari was the first to move. She drew a deglossed military knife that must have been hiding behind her back and closed the gap between herself and Suzuha in an instant. She pointed the gun at her legs and pulled the trigger carefully, aiming away from her vitals. She heard the small pop of a suppressed .32 caliber and saw Kagari lose her balance and fall. Or she thought she did, but it was a feint. Huh? She only pretended to lose her balance. In fact, she changed directions and was heading for the shower room. It seemed her first goal was to get what she'd come for. Huh? After firing only one shot, Suzuha realized even a .32 should have more recoil than this. She fired again, but Kagari didn't flinch even for a moment. Oh no. A blank? How? At some point, all the bullets in Suzuha's gun had been swapped with blanks. Instant panic was all it took. Kagari reached out for the shirt on the floor in front of the shower room. No way! Suzuha gave up firing and flung the gun at Kagari. There was a dull thud as the hard barrel slammed into her neck. Caught off balance, she staggered before she could grab the shirt. You could hear Kagari's voice for the first time from within the helmet. Suzuha jumped. She kicked the off-balance Kagari as hard as she could with her toned, muscled legs. There was no time to hold back. Kagari went flying all the way to the edge of the room. That had to have broken a few ribs. Damn. Suzuha jumped toward her to continue her attack. With terrifying speed, Kagari leapt off the ground and charged at Suzuha. There wasn't enough time to come to a full stop. The knife. A sharp blade swept by, mere centimeters from her exposed abdomen. If she'd pulled back even a few tenths of a second later, the knife would have fatally sliced open her gut. Bitch! The blood rushed to Suzuha's head. Kaguri was serious. She was planning to kill her. There was no hesitation in her movements. Suzuha leaped back, searched for something she could use as a weapon. The other guns were probably no different. There was a good chance they'd all had their ammo swapped with blanks too. It was even possible that all her self-defense knives had been taken too. Which left. There were several knives carefully stored in the kitchen. Yuki had brought them over to use in teaching the other girls how to cook. Kaguri had evidently noticed them as well. She was moving to keep Suzuha from reaching them. Huh? Looks like you've had a lot of practice. Hard to believe that the same girl who spent all her time sobbing inside the time machine. I'm surprised. Suzuha kept her distance from Kaguri as she slowly moved along the wall. Her competitive drive burned her even brighter as she tried to come up with a new way to overcome her disadvantage. Here, Kaguri, this is what you're after, right? She picked up her shirt in front of the shower room and took the green keychain out of its pockets. What's wrong? Come and get it! Her fingers moved as if to crush it. You could see Kaguri twitch for the first time. She could detect a hint of emotion beyond the helmet. In an instant, she threw it at Kaguri's stomach. The keychain flew in a slow arc, like she was tossing it to a friend. If something they loved was thrown like that, even the fiercest warrior would instinctively reach out both hands to grab it. Kaguri was no exception. She carefully held her mother's memento in both her empty left hand and the right hand that still clutched the knife. Huh? Using her slow arc of the keychain as camouflage, Suzuha ran at her in a straight line. Her right fist connected hard with Kaguri's stomach. Then her left arm smashed Kaguri's head to the side. Kaguri's body fell to the ground, her right shoulder taking the brunt of the fall. Suzuha could hear the sound of her joint dislocating. The knife slipped from her grasp. Damn. Damn! Again, just a reminder of everyone, she's naked while she's doing this. Suzuha got behind her and mounted her, twisting her right arm mercilessly. Oh god! Oh god! It's getting hot in here! Avert thy eyes! Avert thy eyes! At the same time, she slipped her own left arm around Kaguri's neck and squeezed hard. She could hear something like a moan from Kaguri's throat. She could both hear and feel the bones in her arm and neck creaking. Stay put. I'm not gonna kill you. Kaguri picked up the knife on the floor with her left hand and once again tried to use it on Suzuha. Suzuha was forced to squeeze her arm and neck even harder. Oh, she's got her in a chokehold. Damn. Bare naked Oh god. I apologize, stream. I'm gonna choke you with my big hands. Yes. Hands. That's what she used. Stop it, Kaguri. I understand how you feel now, but it's wrong. It's wrong. But Kaguri didn't stop. If anything, she tried even harder to pull Suzuha away. What kind of training does she get? Even in all the battles she'd been in, this much pressure on two different spots was enough to get even the toughest soldier to submit or fall unconscious. Terrified, Suzuha squeezed even harder. At this rate, she wouldn't simply knock her out. She really would kill Kaguri. It's wrong. Put some clothes on. You never do martial arts in your birthday suit. If she stopped, Kaguri would kill her. What should she do? Fix it, Suzuha. It hurts. It hurts. And then she heard a sad, weak voice from inside the helmet. Oh no, don't fall for it. And just like that, the tables had turned. It startled her. She relaxed both her arms. But that was just what Kaguri had. Damn it! I knew it! Ah! That was just what Kaguri had hoped for. The knife came very close to cutting Suzuha's left arm. Come on, man, right? When she let go to dodge it, Kaguri shook off shook her off and kicked her at her hips with both legs. Oh damn, she drop kicked her. Suzuha was slammed back hard into the computer desk, and for a moment she couldn't breathe. She fell to the floor, and the printer and monitor crashed mercilessly into her naked body. She forced herself to stand up, grasping hard as she did so. Kagere's breathing was heavy too. Her right arm was pointed in an impossible direction and hanging limp. She wouldn't be able to use it for a while, probably. But her left arm was still holding the knife. You've learned some dirty tricks, haven't you? Suzuha glared at Kagere's face, not that she could see what it looked like behind that helmet. Two of them fell silent as they tried to catch their breath. The tension in the air was so thick that it was difficult to move a muscle. She rolled down her forehead and into her eyes, but still didn't blink as she waited for Kagere to make her next move. Daru? It was the sound of the front door opening that broke their stalemate. Oh my god, Daru for the win. If he can, like... Oh god, he's gonna see his daughter naked. Hey, Suzuha, did I just hear a loud noise? There's a lot of ways this can play out, and I don't think it's gonna be good. Suzuha felt a chill run down her spine when she heard Ataru's voice. Huh? Why is it so dark? No, Dad, stay back! She yelled at the exact instant he turned on the lights. The sudden brightness was enough to make Suzuha flinch for an instant. Kagere was wearing a full-face helmet, and that made all the difference. She leapt towards Ataru just a moment before Suzuha. Kagere's black knife went up to his throat. Dad! Kagere spun around behind him, using Ataru's huge body as a shield. Suzuha staggered toward him, gritting her teeth. Let go, Kagere. Lay one finger on Dad, and I don't care who you are, Kagere. I'll kill you. But Kagere remained as silent as she headed out the door with her hostage. And then in the next moment, she shoved him forward. Oh, thank God. I thought she was going to kill him. Ataru lost his balance, fell towards Suzuha. Suzuha fell to the ground underneath his weight. Ataru just barely managed to support himself with his arms and legs to keep from crushing her. Move! Suzuha tried to shove him off using a little more force than she may have intended. But Ataru was so huge it would take him a moment to get up. This is why I told you to lose weight! What? He was getting away. He somehow managed to crawl out from under him and quickly tried to follow after Kagere. Suzuha, wear this! Ataru was still lying on the ground as he tossed the naked Suzuha her shirt. She grabbed it and quickly put it on, then ran outside. Oh, thank God, she finally has clothes. When she looked around the street, the girl in the motorcycle leathers wasn't there. There was no way to even know where she'd gone. Got away. Damn. Damn, that entire scene. It'd be dangerous to run around trying to find her now. There's a chance that Tara would be attacked while she wasn't at the lab. What about pants, though? Yeah, whatever. I'm assuming it's like a long shirt. Like, have you ever seen girls that wear like those overly long, extra large shirts that like drape over them, almost like a dress? That's what I'm imagining in my head. What was that? Kagere-tan? Taro came outside as well. This is intense. Holy moly. Right? Yeah, I'm almost certain. I see. This is how it's going to be with the two of us in the end. Bruises and wounds were bad enough, but the pain that ached at her heart was the worst of all. No, I really did like her. Yeah. She was small but so brave, and she always did her best to protect Big Sis Mayu. Taught her a lot. Thought of her as like a little sister. Yeah. But now, she's completely my enemy. Damn. Yotaro straightened up her shirt sleeves. You know, you look like a slutty girl in an H game right now, Suzuha.
Girl, Taru.
What? Suzuha was caught completely off guard. True, her t-shirt only came down to just below her hips.
Ah, told you. Told you.
Roughly the length of a miniskirt. Her breasts were almost completely bared. The shirt's hem was turned up. She felt exposed.
Well, I don't mind H games with slutty girls, and I don't think the whole naked except for a t-shirt thing is all that bad.
Being silly again. You could have gotten badly hurt. Yotaro shook his head.
Got freaked out by the knife. I don't think I really needed to be that scared. Unless I'm mistaken.
Yotaro rubbed the part of his neck where the knife blade was.
She had the knife to my throat. I could hear it, just a little.
Hear what?
Probably crying.
Huh? Crying? Under that helmet? That whole battle with Suzuha, while holding a knife to Ataru's neck. But why?
Think it's too early to jump to conclusions?
Dad.
Hmm?
You buy me that vanilla ice cream?
Yeah, of course.
I'd love to eat it. I'm a little tired. Then she almost fell forward.
What?
Tara managed to catch her before she hit the ground.
Hey, Suzuha.
I'm fine, but let me rest a little. Damn. That was all she had the energy to say. She closed her eyes in her dad's arms, and her consciousness melted away. When July came, the sun shone down even harder in eastern Japan. Summer was truly here.
Didn't sound like it caught her. I know. I was like... It didn't sound like it either. But the narration's what saved it.
The news had been saying for days that the heat island effect might make this the hottest summer in years. Then on the first Sunday in July, I met with Maho and Akihabara. Oh good, she's alive. And hopefully she's herself. I was waiting at the open cafe at the UPX when Maho arrived. She was a little late. Okabe. It's been a while. He ordered an iced coffee, took a deep breath. You know, we talk to each other all the time on video chat. That's right. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. Her habit of paying no attention to her clothes or looks hadn't changed at all in the last 6 months. People were going to think she was an elementary school kid who decided to go play at a friend's house. It would upset her if I said that, so I never would. The idea you were here. If I hadn't happened to see Dr. Leskinen, I never would have found out. I'm going to contact you once things calm down. To talk to each other about Kurisu at some point eventually. You hear about the new encephalitis cases? Dr. Leskinen is, at least. I'm his assistant, but I'm mostly in charge of Amadeus. There been any problems? I assume not, since I'm still getting my usual reports. Yeah, nothing really. It's been a struggle to deal with Kurisuza. Hey! I heard a voice from my smartphone, which I'd placed on the table. What do you mean by struggle? I left the Amadeus app turned on. Of course, Kurisu could hear everything we said. She's a little ruder since we first met. You're just afraid of me for no reason is all. Maybe. Turning into our old relationship in the Alpha World line, where we'd fought all the time. Starting to lose track of whether that was a good or a bad thing for me. But I was trying to forget about Kurisu. Pretty rude when we first met. But that was... What fun people when she meets them for the first time. You know why? Because they refuse to treat her like she's a real age? Because they refuse to treat me like I'm my real age? The two of them spoke in unison. So I always get upset. Once I get to know someone, they stop talking about my appearance, right? So I can speak more normally around them is all. Guess I was right not to comment on her outfit. It's a close call. Anyway, back to Amadeus. It's an interesting sign that Kurisu is developing a bit of a sharp tongue. It's a side of her she never shows me or the professor, right? That may be a sign of how much she's opened up to you. I have not. Maho simply smiled and ignored her. We can analyze those psychological changes as a code. This is a change we never would have seen if she'd only been speaking to me and the professor. That alone means we're right to keep you on as a tester. Is that how it works? Dr. Leskinen was very impressed by this too. I think you're giving him too much credit. In fact, whenever he talks to me, he's always complaining. It's not very manly, you know. I knew my personality had gotten a bit negative, especially given what I'd been through. Really need to say that to Maho right now? Eye for an eye it is then. By the way, there's something I hadn't told you yet. What is it? Something I don't think you or Dr. Leskinen are aware of. Wait, what are you going to tell her? Something Maho and the professor don't know about me? Does the phrase Kurigohan Kamehameha mean anything to you? Hey! A few weeks ago, I actually searched for Kurigohan and Kamehameha on a whim. It was the handle Kurisu had used on @channel when she was still alive. What I'd seen, the comment started in summer of 2008, then abruptly stopped in July of 2010. And it started up again in December of that same year. Even now, in July 2011, they were still appearing. It wasn't Kurisu's ghost, it was an imposter. And the one who could be writing these posts was... Okabe Rintaro, why don't we have a private chat? So it was you after all. Do you think it's a bad idea not to tell them? It's an even worse idea to tell Maho. Why? Because I haven't breathed a word to her about me going on @channel. Why hide it? It's not a crime to read or comment on @channel. Isn't that right? @channel or Kurisu? Listen, call me that one more time and I'll start making up gossip about you on @channel. Practically a crime though. I couldn't help but laugh. Conversations like this brought back so many memories. I used to be so full of myself that I took off Kurisu all the time. Hey, what are you talking about? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Delete all your memories of today from your hippocampus, please. You can hide it. She's going to find out eventually. Just shut up. You have gotten a lot closer over the last 6 months. Perfect. Probably gonna hit the bed now. Start getting the yawns. Well, perfect as in I'm only gonna be streaming for about 7 more minutes myself, and then I'll be calling the first stream done for today. And then I'll be back later tonight, which should be your morning. Have fun, guys. Stay hydrated, Eiko. Thank you, D-Gen. Hopefully I can catch you again. Hopefully you don't miss too much in the next 5 minutes or so. I'll definitely keep you posted. You get some sleep? And hopefully I'll see you for what seems to be the finale. If not... Well, not the finale, but... What's the word I'm looking at? Semi-finale? Penultimate finale? Finale before the finale? Alright, I'll check the VOD if it's going to be 3 hours, actually. Or you'll go for another hour again.
Oh, no, oh, no. Yes. Yeah, no, I'm only gonna go for like 5 more minutes, just to make this an even 3-hour stream. And then I should stream later tonight for maybe 3 or 4 more hours. And then we'll see tomorrow if I don't beat it. We'll see. Again, feelings very close, but we'll find out. The penulta, yes. Yes, the penultimate finale. And then the actual grand finale. Alright, take care. Enjoy. Alright, take care, D-Gen. You have a good night. Catch you next stream. And Jerk, stay away. Oh, don't worry. I'll do everything I can in my power to keep him away from everyone. Maho, I'm sorry. Huh? Why are you apologizing? Good. No, just it's been so long since you and Okabe have seen each other. I'm doing all the talking. Why don't you two take some time and chat? That's not what I meant. It's all Okabe's fault for saying something weird, isn't it? Ah, thank you for the delicious cookie, D-Gen. You enjoy that hug. Get some rest. There'll be more story for sure later. That's true. Hurry Gohan and Kamehameha. Ah! Please don't say that. It's like the real Kurisu. She was strangely obsessed with hiding the fact that she was a Nat channeler. Go cool off for a little. I'm gonna hang up. Bye. Kurisu disappeared from the screen. Kurisu had been a bit rude lately, so it felt good to have a chance to get back at her. If I overdid it, she was probably going to hold a grudge, so this was likely a good place to stop. Hey, look at that. Even the game is like, this is a good place. What's Kuri Gohan? You really want to know? Ask Kurisu. If I explained it, she'd probably get mad and refuse to talk to me again. So how long are you going to be staying here? Might be longer than last time. Really know anything about the new encephalitis Dr. Leskinen is researching. Possible that I'll be sent back on my own too. Got time? Visit the lab. I'm sure Daru and Mayuri would love to see you. Mayuri? Sure, but I don't know about Hashida. Maho was finally starting to understand Daru's true nature. Speaking of Daru, you should be on a date with Yuki Amane right now. By the way, what happened to Kurisu's laptop? I destroyed it. It was the best thing to do, I explained it to you before, didn't I? Yeah, you're right. She looked down, sad expression on her face. I told her I was going to do it ahead of time. It still must have upset her to see one of the last things she'd had to remember Kurisu by destroyed. About half the seats at Gogokuri were full. It was Sunday, but it was also after 2 p.m., until the lunchtime rush was over. Suzuha was sitting at a restaurant's far edge, a baseball cap pulled down over her face. She was hiding her face with the cap and carefully watching a couple sitting nearby. Here you are, you're Major Curry. Cheerful employee put down 2 giant silver plates, or trays more accurately, in front of them. Suzuha could see the other customers looking at them and whispering. The couple really stood out after all. The man was a giant who looked like he ate Major Curry all the time, but the woman was slim, pretty, and looked very kind. The combination of huge man and slim woman was as unbalanced as the combination of pretty girls and Major Curry. Major Curry was big, it was huge. Suzuha knew from experience. The massive silver trays were loaded with rice and curry, topped with 2 fried cutlets, fried shrimp, sausage, a boiled egg, and a mountain of cabbage. There were 2 or 3 times as much curry as you'd find in a normal dish, and the toppings were just as big. Even a growing young boy would find it hard to eat them. Suzuha was irritated. Are you ordering Major Curry on your first date with her, Dad? Beauty and the Beast couple that Suzuha was watching, of course, was Ataru and Yuki. In the morning, they'd gone to see a movie at Garucho. They'd come to Akihabara, gone straight to Go-Go Curry. Suzuha had followed them the whole time. Well, she couldn't believe Ataru's choice of date spots. I don't mind Go-Go Curry at all. In fact, I like it, but it's your first date. There are other places you could have gone. She clutched a spoon tight and gritted her teeth. Suzuha knew next to nothing about Japanese youth culture. Only 11, and even she knew it was a bad idea. Knew what was going through Yuki's mind, or so Suzuha thought. But wow, it's even more amazing than the pictures. Surprisingly, Yuki was ignoring the people around her, innocently enjoying the huge curry. Amanashi, if you can't eat it all, I'll finish it for you, okay? Okay, thank you, but I'm actually pretty good at this. Yeah, that's a surprise. I actually would have always just come and look at the menu outside. I always wanted to try this. Glad you brought me here. Glad to hear that. Suzuha evidently worried over nothing. Still, she realized that Ataru was acting strangely. Ever since he'd come out of the movie theater, he was walking and talking strangely. Instead of his usual hunched posture, he was forcing himself to stand up straight. His every movement seemed oddly forced, as if he were a broken robot. He downed glass after glass of water. Oh, I'm sorry. May I have some water too? Huh? Oh, sure. Thank you. Ataru poured water into Yuki's cup. Suzu had a bad feeling. She was right. Ataru was moving so awkwardly that he almost spilled water on her hand. Are you okay? My hand just got a little wet. Anyway, let's eat before it gets cold, okay? He quickly wiped down the table with her handkerchief. Grabbed her fork and spoon. There were stars in her eyes. Okay, let's eat. Let's eat. She seemed to be really enjoying her meal, but Ataru was very formal and quiet. He was taking little nibbles out of a piece of fried cutlet like a squirrel eating a nut. The whole time they weren't saying a word. Annoying, Dad. I'm just gonna want to be around you if you're like that. She decided to send him a message on Rhine, telling him to get his act together. She'd take out her phone when... Here's your major curry with extra roux. Huh? A huge plate was laid on the table in front of her. The other customer started murmuring again. Come to think of it, when she'd followed them into the store, she'd ordered her usual major curry with extra roux and had forgotten about it. Now everybody was going to focus on her. In a small shop like this, it was suicide. Huh? Just as expected, her eyes met Yuki's. Suzuha, I didn't realize you were here. Oh, yeah, what a coincidence seeing you here. Yuki, brother? You should have said something. No, I didn't even notice you, really. Realized that she should probably leave, but she couldn't go without at least taking a bite of the major curry in front of her. Her experiences in the war had left her completely unable to waste food. She felt Yuki and Ataru staring at her. She reluctantly picked up her spoon. Anyway, yeah, you two enjoy yourselves. Her only choice was to finish her extra large curry as soon as possible. She couldn't let herself be in the way. Instead, Yuki came over and picked up Suzuha's plate. Huh? Excuse me, can my friend sit with us? Sure, go ahead. Says it's okay, let's all eat together. Wait, why? Why? Because you ordered major curry too. I think we need to have a race. Huh? Hashida can be the judge. Before Suzuha could respond, Yuki had moved her plate over to the table. No, wait! She had no choice but to follow, but before she sat down, she whispered in Yuki's ear. We're on a date, right? Huh? Oh, yeah, I'm on a date. Makes me blush when I say it out loud. Hotaru didn't react at all, even though she was sure he'd overheard that. I've never been on a date, so I don't know how they work, but is it normal to have a curry speed eating contest with another girl in the middle of a date? I don't really know. You see it a lot in anime and manga, don't you? A little sister who doesn't want to lose her big brother runs up to the girlfriend and says, "Let's have a competition." For some reason, Yuki seemed incredibly enthused. Suzuha was overwhelmed by her energy. I don't know anything about that. Is that how it works, brother? Even when she turned to Itaru for help, he just awkwardly sat there eating his curry like a robot. Brother? He awkwardly turned his head to face her. The rest of him stayed completely still. You say something? Wrong, you're acting weird. I'm not acting weird. I'm not acting weird at all. The hug glanced back at Yuki. For the first time, Yuki looked concerned. In the end, Yuki and Suzuha did have their curry eating contest, and surprisingly, both of them completely finished their meals. Suzuha won by a very small margin, but the battle was exciting enough that not only the other customers, but the staff as well were applauding at the end. The whole time, Itaru kept eating by himself. Since this wasn't even a conversation, let alone a date, she sent Itaru home alone. Part of her wanted to demand Itaru explain himself right now, but she decided to talk to Yuki instead. She tried her best to avoid Yuki so far, in order to keep her identity a secret, but it was July now. She would be gone from this era very soon. This might be her last chance to talk to Yuki at all. Phew. I'm so glad you were there. He sighed a little after Itaru left. Maybe I did something to offend him? Hashida doesn't seem to enjoy being around me. You don't think he was just nervous? Having fun talking with me before the movie, you know? But after the movie, he started acting really strange. Did I do something wrong? I asked him to take me to the curry place, but since he was acting like that the whole time, I wasn't really sure what to do. So since you happened to be there, I turned to you for help. What had happened inside the theater? Suzu hadn't followed them inside. She spent about 2 hours killing time outside. Hey. Why do you like my brother? Huh? I mean, maybe I shouldn't say this, but he's not exactly a lady killer. What do you think about your brother? Me? You like him? Hate him? You like him, right? I can tell by watching you. Well, sure. There were parts of him that she didn't like, but of course she loved her dad. Wait, why are we talking about me? So what about you? I still really don't know if I like him or not. I see. Not only had Itaru not told Yuki he liked her, this was still their first date. They hadn't spoken that much before either. We hadn't even reached the point where she saw him as a member of the opposite sex. For almost a year, Suzu had stayed with them. She, Mayuri, and Ferris had done everything they could to get the two of them together. There hadn't been any real progress. Suzu felt uneasy when she thought about the future. Maybe her dad wouldn't be her dad anymore. Maybe her mom wouldn't be her mom anymore. Dad and mom wouldn't be together. She imagined that future. I don't want that. He looked straight into Yuki's eyes. Going to be leaving soon. What? I'm moving someplace far away. Really? I don't think I'll be back. I'm worried about my brother. So Yuki, I know this is a weird thing for me to ask. Then she bowed deeply. Please take care of Hashida Hitaru. No answer from Yuki. Suzuha looked up afraid and tried to gauge the expression on her face.
Look kind of lonely. Kind of sad. I don't know what I want to do. He whispered, and then Suzuha. Oh jeez. What are we gonna do? Everything's almost finished, even though it's never even started. As soon as she got back to the lab, she yelled at her useless father. Suzu, I'm sorry. The Hashida family is doomed. Stop sitting there feeling sorry for yourself. This isn't funny. Start by explaining why you were acting that way today. You looked so excited when you left this morning. Mom said you were normal until halfway through the movie. Yeah. What the hell happened? Well, you see, listen to this. You know how movie theater seats are cramped, right? So I tried to sit as far to the edge as I could so I wouldn't get in Amanashi's way. Then I heard this crack, and the seat almost broke. What? And then I tried to support myself, so I grabbed the armrest. But it wasn't the armrest, it was Amanashi's hand. Yeah? Mom didn't say anything about that. I'm telling you the truth, it was so soft. It could have been an armrest. It was a girl's hand. It had to have been. I see. You see, I've held a lot of 2D girls' hands, but never a real girl's. What happened then? Now she's so nice, I guess she didn't try to shake it off because she didn't want to hurt me. Now how fat I am, right? I sweat a lot. She must have gotten soaked, but didn't say a word. I really started to think about that. Oh, I see. That's why you were acting so weird. Sure, in her mind, Hamanashi was going, "Get off me, you creepy loser pervert." Mom's not like that. In fact, from the way she was acting, she probably thought she'd upset him somehow. The problem was what she said. I don't know what I want to do. What does she mean by that? I don't know what Mom's thinking. Says, let's give up on Mom and you can live with me. Not making any sense. How am I even supposed to be born? Huh? But it's impossible. I mean, not even trying. Even if things look bad, you have to keep going. Grabbed her father by the collar and shook him. You don't. Remembered how sad Yuki had looked when they said goodbye. Otherwise, something awful will happen. Yeah. So I was starting to wonder about leaving, especially now that she had even more to worry about. Maybe I shouldn't have talked to Yuki after all. I realized again how powerless she was, being from the future. Alright. So here's where we will call it for the first stream, everyone. So Daru and Yuki went on a date, and it went so-so. Like a 70-30. 70 good, 30% not so good. Just hope for the Hashida family line. Damn, there's still a lot of story left, I suppose, so we'll end right here. Gonna give my voice a break. I'm gonna come back. I'll be streaming again tonight around 9:30 Pacific Standard Time. We'll see about getting my 4th ending, if I even get there. It took me about 13 hours to get my first ending. So maybe like another 5 or 4 to 6. I might be able to stream that, get another ending, and then we'll see about the final ending. If I can't start it also tonight, or try to start and finish tomorrow for Valentine's. So yeah, that's the plan. We'll see what happens, of course. But big shout outs, of course, Yenboy, Dgen, Kiwei, Arc Boba Fett, Frollo, everyone else who stopped by to watch, hanging out. I appreciated everyone. Truly. As I always say, your viewership and support mean the world to me, and it never goes unnoticed or taken for granted. So thank you all again for hanging out with me. As I said, I'll be back tonight around 9:30 Pacific Standard Time. We'll try to see if I can get to the end of this chapter, which feels like probably an end. I don't know. Things are kind of, every time I think it's like, all right, the story, huge moments, and then it dies down, it builds again. It goes up, comes down. So it's always so much world building to do, but we'll see. Things are set in place for something big to happen, so yeah, I can't wait to read. But thank you all again. As my number one mod with the dad bod always says, it's time for the Truman Show outro. So I just want to say to everyone sticking around to the stream, thank you for hanging around to the end. And I want to say, no matter where you're watching from, I hope you all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I'm Ego the Visual Culturist, signing out, and I'll catch you guys tonight for the continuation of Steins Gate Zero. Hopefully we get another ending. Hopefully it's a good one. Alright, till then, take care everyone. Bye.